Oh, really?
Yeah.
It goes bad?
Pretty good.
Oh, huh. What time do you got?
What was that?
I need time. Oh, yeah. All right, we got a couple of these.
He'll take it a minute.
I know. We start about 5 minutes. Kind of a safe way to do it. Got a crowd today. Look at this. Hey, Chris, can you move this man? Oh, you don't even have
Try to get me in trouble.
Goal, one of my goals in life. You know, I think with the new look and everything, you might need to upgrade the cowboy hat. Maybe at least,
things or wait to experience?
I think,
You
you
think
maybe,
it's a county issue?
or you could bedazzle a hat band, that would, maybe a little sequins on the hat band, kind of.
I can put Cambry and his daughter on it.
Perfect cowboy.
Sissy said,
I'm just
real
jealous
cowboy.
of what it is.
When I trim it, I start saving it, we fix you up.
Yeah, just kind of glue it on. All right, we 9:30 yet?
I got 9:30.
You're good.
9:30. All right, we will call this meeting of the Young County Commissioners Court to order. Let the record show it's 9:30 a.m. All 5 members of the court are present. We are streaming live on YouTube. And if anybody's if anybody watching on YouTube would like to call and make a comment, you may call 940-221-2107. If you're able, please stand for our invocation and pledges. Commissioner Shook has the honors today.
Let's pray. Father, we just thank you for another beautiful day in Young County. Lord, we thank you for the rain. We thank you for guidance and direction. Lord, we thank you that you help us make wise decisions today, Father, as we conduct business, help our community and our county. Lord, we just ask that those that are hurting and sick, Lord, that you would give them, help them, Lord, to heal. And Lord, we just thank you for protection. Lord, we thank you for loving us. And Lord, we just ask you to forgive us of all our unrighteousness. Lord, we just ask all these things in your precious holy name. Amen. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one indivisible.
Thank you, Scott. All right, we'll move to item number 3, which is public comments. Do we have any public comments today? Awesome. Can you come on up?
Yes, sir.
Will you just state your name for the record, please?
My name is Scott Shields. I'm president of the Graham Farmers Market Board. And I'm just here to ask y'all to consider cooperating with the city council on a potential plan to put a multi-purpose pavilion somewhere on the square in the future, so we can move the farmers market from its current location at the old ag barn to the square, but also for, of course, lots of other uses to bring life to the square. I'm just here to ask you to, I'm just kind of plant the seed, and I'll try to get it on the agenda in the future, and so we can maybe start something going. That's all I have.
Thank you. And I think just for context, the city is drawing up a concept that I think they're going to want to pitch to us in the future about closing 3rd Street inside the square to go from 2 squares to 1 big square. And that street in the middle that goes around the arch, kind of turning that into a pavilion that possibly that the farmer's market and other things could utilize. Now, for us, we've got a parking issue, we've got the sheriff entry and exit as far as getting defendants into the courts, and then we also have handicap parking that we're gonna have to consider, but just, that's a lot, I mean, there's a lot of things to work out, but that's the concept I believe that you're talking about, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so, I just know that they're working on that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Scott, appreciate you. Are there any more public comments? We'll move to we got in our packet, we have the tax assessor collector's January activity report. So far for our fiscal year 2024, they've collected $412,000 compared to this time last year, $315,000. All right, we'll move out of the public comments section and we will move to the county clerk minutes from our 2 previous meetings, January 22nd and February 2nd.
So moved.
Second.
All right, we have a motion from Commissioner Wiley. We have a second from Commissioner Cresswell to accept both minutes as presented. Are there any amendments or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. We'll move to item number 5. Consider the treasurer's financial report, updates on securities pledge. Treasurer Mellon? I'm sorry?
No updates.
No update today, thank you. In this section, we have discuss and consider accepting the scrapbook proceeds to the Young County Historical Commission, $78.05. Do we have a motion to accept that? Motion from Scott Shook. Do we have a second? Second from Commissioner Wiley, or Cresswell, excuse me. Any comments? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Apologize about that. All right, item number 6, consider auditor's budget amendments and vouchers payable. Commissioner?
One of each. So on vouchers payable, the total today is $298,950.69. And out of the general fund is $125,992.75. Couple of the bigger items in on the general is, we paid the City of Graham fire contract for $24,000.
Which we approved last meeting.
Yes, and we paid the Graham Hospital, the ambulance, for $17,500.
Do we break that out twice a year, or do we do that quarterly?
Twice a year.
And we do the same thing with Alney, twice a year?
Yes.
Okay, any questions or comments?
Oh, and there is DONS included, and so.
All right, so do we have a motion to accept? We have a motion from Commissioner Cresswell. Do we have a second? Second from Commissioner Rogers. Any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So it passes 4-0 with 1 abstention. Commissioner Wiley abstains. And then, would you like to talk about the potential budget amendment to hire a
Yes.
temporary employee to train the new district court administrator?
Yes, so we have, our current court administrator is retiring in April, and Judge Gregory has asked to hire an employee for the same position for 4 weeks. So I figured salary, FICA, retirement, and insurance, we'll have to pay 1 month of insurance twice, one for the current admin and then for this one, for a total of $5,153. I asked if you approve it to be paid out of contingency.
So moved. So it's, so basically Beverly's gonna stay on
I
to
just
help.
wanted to mention.
Yeah, so they get it'll make that transition, a much cleaner one. So we have a motion
I'll
from
second.
Commissioner Cresswell, we have a second from Commissioner Shook. Any question or comments? If not, all in favor? Any opposed? All right, that passes 5-0. All right, we'll move on to item number 7, which is discuss and consider employee bonds. Polly Hurd, Deputy Tax Collector, $5,000. Maria Cisneros, Young County Juvenile Probation Officer, $5,000. We have a motion from Commissioner Wiley. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second from Commissioner Cresswell. Any questions or comments? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Item number 8, consider the extension agent's January report. We have requests for reimbursement from Penny Barron for $1,087.66 and Savannah Williams, $881.35. We have a motion from Commissioner Wiley and a second from Commissioner Rogers. Any questions? Comments? All in favor? Okay, motion passes 5-0. Trying to do 2 things at one time. Doesn't work very well. All right, item number 9, discuss the January activity report for the jail and the sheriff's office. Sheriff Babcock? Good morning. Thanks.
One to her, and then they give you 2, one for her.
Yeah, but he wasn't paying attention.
All right. So today's population is 71. Fine weekend. But we have 19 Bell County inmates.
19. Has there been any change due to, when you had to clear the jail for the gas leak? Did everyone, obviously Bell County's come back, did the other counties come back?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think, we have a few, I think we still have.
Yeah, we got billed for a couple of Throckmorton last month.
Well, yeah, Baylor,
It's a good thing.
Baylor, we haven't had a Baylor guy in a while now, since the last one was September. Do they have somewhere else that they're going, or?
They could be taking over to Archer too.
Yeah. I know Archer also is, they take people just like we do.
Right.
So,
We have a few, we'll have some more this month, but,
sometimes we have a problem where we can't get the juvenile into one that's close. And we have to go on some really long drives.
Plainview or wherever that.
Yeah.
is, back and forth.
One coming for this afternoon. I think he's coming from Wichita Falls. So.
Yeah. And we sent one to Red River on the weekend.
Oh, really?
We'll have 2 more this month.
Okay. We have any questions on the jail? If not, we'll move to the sheriff's report. Nine fires.
Should have been being house fires. Yeah, building. Yeah.
And we had 2 grass fires, and most of them were roadside fires.
Livestock complaints down a little bit last night.
How are you with, are you fully staffed? Or do you have any deputy spots open?
We will have after we have one that's going to another county.
Oh, we had nothing? Okay.
Well, we had one that did leave, we filled that spot.
Okay, but we have another one leaving?
Yeah, so
And then how about in the jail?
Jill's like, we hired 2, and so we about 3 now, probably.
Okay.
3 down.
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
That's affecting your, overtime and
A little bit.
So, the Senate Bill 22 grant, which is the sheriff and deputies and jailers pay assistance grant, it is getting quite a bit of comments on our listserv, and everybody's in the same boat we are, that we submitted the grant, nobody has heard anything else. A few judges have called, and they've just been told to kind of calm down, that they have 90 days to work through them all, and but,
Comptroller's gonna take that 90 days.
yeah, I know, but there hadn't been a single county that I've heard of that has received anything different than what we received. There is some thought that they're gonna send something, and we're gonna have to do some more paperwork. We might even have to have a resolution to add to it, but I haven't gotten the guidance yet on that.
Simple things difficult.
I know,
Yeah.
it just, something that should be so easy that
Well,
they can make it
kept
hard.
saying January 1, we know. They didn't happen.
No, they're taking their sweet time. All right, does anyone have anything for Sheriff Babcock?
Sounds good.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it.
it. All right, we'll move to item number 10, discuss and consider investing funds through the First National Bank, presented by Stuart Cobb. Mr. Cobb,
Good morning.
good morning.
I didn't bring a document to give to everybody. I did bring a little cheat sheet for myself. I was able to visit a little bit before Kyle about kind of what the presentation would be like. First, I just want to take a second to thank the court for allowing me to touch on this. We've done business between a couple of banks over the last 15, 16 years. It's been a great relationship. I've hounded Cheryl about this for 15 or 16 years, so I feel vindicated finally to be here in front of the court to discuss it. But really what it comes down to is, we've always, build our relationships face-to-face, belly-to-belly across the state. And, the last thing we want to do at any county across our great state is take away local relationships with local banks. The tax pool is a different animal. It's a fund that's, managed outside of our state. It's a monster pool. I mean, it's over $1 trillion. And so in 254 counties, I wouldn't be surprised if 200 of them was off the Texas Board, Texas Clash, or one of the above. But The downside to Texaco, and I'm not casting shadow, I think folks at Texaco are great people, and they do a good job of going to the conferences and meeting with everybody. But the downside to it is, it's not FDIC insured 100%. It's kind of like your individual relationship at the bank. You know, you invest money, you've got $250,000 worth of FDIC insurance. So if you invest $260,000, 10,000 of it is not insured. So we have a product that we offer to our counties that's called the Insured Cash Relief, and it's 100% FDIC insurance up to $100 million. So we give you the warm blanket on that. Not that, you know, God forbid, we don't have something like an Enron or something like that with tax pool where somebody blemishes the fund, but it could happen.
What'd you say it's insured up to what?
100 million.
100 million per each entity?
Well, we don't take 100 million from each.
No, I know, but but like if the city of Graham had 100 million in, the county had 100 million in, and Newcastle had 100 million in, and Olney had 100 million, all of them would be insured up to 100 million?
100%.
Okay.
Yes, sir. And the other thing too, to add to the 100% FDIC insurance is it's all managed on one page. So it's not like you get this report where it's 50 pages long and you gotta know all these contacts. We have one point of contact. Karen Hughes is our business development officer. She does a phenomenal job. She goes to the conferences for the auditors and the treasurers every year, as well as I do, and my associate Gordon McCain. But Karen manages the relationships once we've established them. Karen Hughes' husband is the fire chief in Wichita Falls, Donald Hughes. She's been involved with investments through the fire department at McDonald, but she's got a long history in banking. And like I said, you're not gonna find anybody better. She's a one point of contact. She carries that cell phone just like I do, 24/7. She's not afraid to answer it off hour. And it's like I said, it's really easy to manage. We can set up multiple accounts. Doesn't matter how many accounts you want to set up, 10, 12, 2, 1. There's no fees or charges associated with it. And I believe it's 6 transactions a month for free. If you go over that 6th or maybe 7, I think it's 6. There is a cost involved. We'll go over that, but it is liquid, so it can be moved.
And it's transactions, not dollar amounts, right? Okay.
It can be, transfers can be made within the same day as long as before, cutoffs for wires. So if there's an emergency fund need for transfer, it can be done immediately. From a corporate level, we've had meetings just recently that said, even if we broach or go over the cutoff, our middle market team is, for emergency cases, will step up and get things done for us. But just to give you another idea of what we offer on this, we pay you guys a premium for those tax pool money. So tax pool is a rate that's just, it ebbs and flows. It's going to fall, it's going to go up, it's going to go all kinds of things. We manage that fund just like tax pool does. As tax pool's rates go up and down, our rate goes up and down. The only difference is we're going to pay you more money than tax pool's paying. And to give you an example, we'll pay, for investments from 500,000 to 2.5 million, we'll pay you 5 basis points over tax pool. For balances of 2.5 million to 4 million, we'll pay you 10 basis points over tax pool. And then balances greater than 4 million, we'll pay you 15 basis points over tax pool. So that's a significant amount of money.
And do you, like, let's say we had 5 accounts, would you combine those 5 accounts when calculating that, or is each account separate?
Okay, the combined total of what the investments are, irregardless of the amount of accounts that might be in. So just, and these rates were as of Friday, so to give you an example, a 4-week, these are my CD rates. If you have any interest in it, and we offer the same program on CDs, it's through a product called Cedars, which allows us to insure the CDs at 100% FDIC insurance. And those rates vary. I mean, obviously, long-term CDs right now aren't paying anything, but we do offer a 3-year CD at 4.17%, a 2-year CD at 4.44, a 52-week CD at 4.84, 26-week at 5.01, a 13-week at 5.08, and a 4-week at 5.14. And like I said, those are gonna change. We know, currently the Federal Reserve is gonna be in a downward trend for interest rates this year. Probably won't see the first real drop in rates probably till March or April. All indicators on our end from the banking industry, the federal level, is that we can see rates as low, drop as low as 1 to 1.5 during the course of the 2024. Don't hold me to that, that's just, the speculation side of it. But we do know that rates should come down. Mortgage rates would probably jump really quick, to kind of kickstart the economy a little better, get people back out where they can afford a home. I mean, the pricing on housing with the rates where they've been has been really tough, so that doesn't have anything to do with this, but, anyway, like I said, if you're looking seriously at investing in a Texas class, we're gonna give you 100% FDIC insurance, and we're gonna pay you everything for it.
So there are two types of investments with what you're offering. One is like a money market where it's just kind of a fixed interest rate,
Yeah.
but just like an interest rate, and then the other is the CD where you're locking in a long term.
Yeah.
But hey, Kyle, on Texas Class, weren't there other investment options that you could do within the Texas Class, or is it just the same thing, a money market type of deal?
Well, yeah, they're again, the Texas Class is gonna be, your major investment is into commercial paper, okay? Or you can go strictly to the government, funds, there'll be government funds,
Mhm.
okay? But the Texas Class is some government fund, primarily is going to be commercial paper. They're the ones that pay the highest.
Gotcha.
And
And that's different than you,
like,
so it's a little.
on, so what's it, on the 11th, the yield was, 5.48, nearly 5.5% for Texas Class. On the government side, it's a little bit lower, like I want to say it's 5.2, something like that. Yeah, 5.25. And the same thing for the Logic, again, and Techstar. And we haven't looked at TexPool, but we looked at Texas Class and and Logic. So you're saying you pay above those rates?
On those as well, on the Texas Class, the Texas Star, the TexPool. Right before the end of the year, I had a county south of San Antonio, oil and gas, lots of money. I mean, it was a monster deposit, and they were the Texas Class. Texas Class, and I want to say at the time of that, rates were lower, I think a little bit. They were Texas Class was like 5.4 or something like that. And we paid the 15 basis points that we were on that to secure those deposits.
So just to update the court, because we did approve Texas Class and we approved Logic, correct? Is that the two? As of yet, I don't
We
think
haven't-
we
we
haven't
haven't.
made a single investment.
No,
We've
we
just
haven't.
been setting the paperwork up and we haven't moved into it. What are your thoughts on this, Kyle?
Well, that sounds pretty good. I mean, their deal sounds pretty good. I'd like to see, the actual rate sheet,
Mm-hmm.
what they're doing. And I guess my plan was, now we're at the point where we've collected most of our tax money. That's when I kind of wanted to then see about, investing more into something liquid like this rather than, our CD rates are 5.33.
Yeah.
They're pretty good, but, when we do that, we're locked in and I can't move those without penalties, so.
Are there fees to having an account like this with you? No. And then where are you at?
Wichita Falls.
You're Wichita.
The only thing is the 6 transactions, I mean.
Yeah.
Is that
We have to
per
monitor
account?
that, huh?
Is that per account or is that total?
Total.
So we could have 6 accounts with you, but still only be able to make 6 transactions without
I'll
penalty.
get a better definitive answer on that. I know that we can modify that, and Karen was gonna be the one that can answer that question. I know that she'll be able to work with you. I don't have that, that's her stripes right.
Well, I mean, we are kind of at the time where we're about to have the most money we're gonna have, so it's time to do it. I would entertain the concept of authorizing our treasurer to go through the process of opening up an account, investigating it a little further, and then, you know, we can make a decision in the next meetings or so as far as whether, you know, where we want to actually put the money, but just go ahead and get the paperwork. 'Cause it's gonna take a while to get an account set up and all that.
Have it done this afternoon.
You know, that quick?
Yeah.
You'll approve us that quick?
I mean,
I'm questioning your.
Well, no, we've had that long-standing relationship.
Have you met these guys?
I have. One or two that are questionable. No, it really could be set up as quick as this afternoon.
Okay. Well, I'll make a motion to authorize our treasurer to open up an account and to do some more investigation into this. And we have a second from Commissioner Wiley. Do we have anyone who has a question, comment, or concern? All in favor? Any opposed? All right, motion passes 5-0.
I would like to hear on the transaction what you can do to amend that maybe.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna put Karen in touch with Kyle so she can, you know, visit him directly and then let him kind of report back. And I can text you guys and call you guys and let you know as well, but,
You know what I think is probably gonna end up is we'll probably have some at Texas Class, some at Logic, some over there, and then we can manage those transactions, you know, kind of that way, where we're not all in one spot. Is probably what the answer is, but, and then we can kind of play the game of one's doing better than the other, moving money around like that.
well, that's always gonna be me, Judge. I mean, I just.
Well, they have just throwing that, if you're always the best, you get the most money.
I'm gonna work really hard to be the best.
Yeah. We like a good interest rate.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. We're gonna move to item number 12, discuss and consider, I'm sorry, number 11, discuss and consider the second draw payment, which we received an application for man-made, and which has been approved by Level 5 Architecture for the Young County Annex. It was $100,890. It is not in the packet. Well, I must slide somewhere. But, so, Commissioner Wiley, just kind of, you want to tell us what all they've done in the last week or so?
They've got, nearly all the walls are up. They've got all the beams across, everything on top. They're supposed to be getting the sheetrock and the plywood there by Wednesday, the 14th. And, the electrician is caught up. They've got a lot of products ordered, and other decisions have been made. Plumber's supposed to be there, I think, this week, do your stuff. It's coming right along pretty fast.
It's feel like they're on schedule pretty well.
Yes.
We had a grand tour the other day, and
It's all framed up, so now
Doesn't
you
look
can
the
really,
same.
you can see. Yeah.
When we were in there the other day, we asked about that window in the lower part. Did you ever get with them and make sure it was right?
Yeah, what they're gonna do is, we've got the bulletproof glass that we, class 7. And then, the bulletproof sheetrock.
Sheetrock.
It's class 7, it's supposed to stop pretty good size, yeah.
Well, I just know the guy that was putting stuff up, he goes, I didn't think we was doing that.
Yeah, it's taken care of.
Okay, we'll entertain a motion to approve this bill.
So move.
We have a motion from Commissioner Wiley, do we have a second?
Second.
Second from Commissioner Cresswell. Any questions, comments, or concerns? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 4-1. All right, we will move to number 12, and this topic we got a letter from Helen Farabee that they were dropping their intellectual and developmental disabilities services. And so this agenda item is Mr. Dennis Heath has got some alternatives for our county, in response to Helen Farabee dropping their IDD services.
Is that just Young County or that's the whole?
I believe I think it's Helen Farabee's dropping that.
Yeah,
It's all in our region.
It's
for the 19 county North Texas.
It's all in our region.
My concerns today are just concerning Young County.
Yeah.
I do have some prepared, Judge Wynn Graham, welcome, commissioners, thank you for hearing me, and Judge, I'm glad Sheriff, I'm glad you're here as guests. I do have some prepared comments. I don't know if any of you have read the letter, if it's been made available. Basically, I reiterated, updated a little bit, and I anticipate there will be some questions at the end if you would like for me to read my prepared statement.
Yeah, please.
Okay. My name is Dennis Heath. I'm here today with my wife, Andy. Thank you for the opportunity to share this information. We represent those who care for and are concerned about the vulnerable segment of Young County citizens, the intellectually and developmentally disabled. They're known as IDD, their parents, families, and advocates. I wish to share a need that has arisen in our community involving those among us who must deal with IDD. Easily, there are 50 to 100 persons through no fault of their own who are not equipped to determine much about their own destiny. Some are nonverbal, as our daughter is. Most are defenseless and require the oversight of society for protection and quality of life. Even more affected individuals are being graduated by our school system each year. According to the GHS Transition Coordinator, we average 3 to 4 individuals annually who do not possess the skills to function in society or work a job and end up in home. Years ago, the Young County Commissioners, the City of Graham, and some generous local families each provided a significant financial assistance to maintain a sheltered workshop where some of these persons would gather, socialize, and do appropriate skills, such as stuffing envelopes, folding pizza boxes, and shredding paper. This later morphed into Young County Rolling Plains Clubhouse organization, and eventually Helen Farabee came and opened a facility in Graham to offer services for both IDD and mental health clients. This included a day-hab facility which provides supervision, social activities, training, individual enrichment, recreation, and community integration. It's essentially a 5-hour turbocharged daycare and enrichment facility for special needs adults. The compassionate and adequate care of these individuals has been mandated by society through Congress, through a web of rules and regulations within the Health and Human Services Agency. Taxpayer funds are then given to each state to distribute within those guidelines. Where possible, individuals need to or try to remain in their biological family setting. Next best, they would live in foster care homes, followed by group homes, and finally nursing homes and state hospitals. In order to keep IDD persons in their best and most efficient settings, these funds are distributed through licensed for-profit agencies such as Helen Farabee. This funding is then appropriated for various services, including day-hab, respite, and job training. With access to a day-hab facility, family members are able to continue holding down jobs in the community while continuing to care for their IDD person at home. There are various levels of funding that are based partially on physical level of need and what program an IDD person may qualify for, and this provides a revenue stream to day-hab services. Unfortunately, there are 400,000 persons on a waiting list in Texas for these state funds. Distributions of these limited funds then leaves many persons unfunded during this wait, and there's many in Young County. In light of these difficulties, and after many years of day-hab service, Helen Farabee has made the decision to close the IDD and day-hab for the 19-county area across north central Texas, due partially to recent changes involving federal and state regulations. These changes had already resulted in much fewer persons qualifying for day-hab. After historically serving as many as 25 individuals, the grant they have has dropped in number of qualified individuals that are allowed to attend, and they're now slated to close March 22nd. Just to clarify, I know there's lots of things going on with mental health. Helen Farabee will continue to operate the mental health portion of Helen Farabee. There will be no changes there that I'm aware of. As part of that loss of DayHab, though, there's 9 dedicated, talented individuals who have lost their jobs. At the current DayHab, our DayHab folks are good friends and have had many years together and continue to grow in their learning and socializing skills. Unfortunately, many parents and caregivers of these adults are widowed or divorced and can no longer hold down a job if there's not someone to safely watch over their disabled or vulnerable child. They can't go to the grocery store or doctor's office, and this situation is, can become a prison for the child and for the parent. Upon hearing the news of this closure, we have begun to seek an alternative entity to provide DayHab services for this area. We're looking for a suitable location, funding, guidance, and professional expertise to get this accomplished. We're considering multiple possibilities. Specifically, we are concentrating our efforts right now on a very successful model in a nonprofit organization called the ARC of Wichita Falls County, in hopes that they may be able to establish a satellite operation here that we could operate under. We believe that if a suitable location can be produced, the ARC would provide such that service here. In addition to an 8 to 2 o'clock, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. DayHab, the ARC would initially offer an extended day service from 2 to 5. Also, an after-school bridge program for high school age students. All of this furthering to help families remain employed. As a nonprofit entity, the ARC can utilize additional sources of income that are not available to Helen Farabee or for-profit providers, and therefore they'll be able to welcome a much larger and broader client base. The Wichita Falls ARC currently even offers a very reasonable private day rate that is quite affordable for those that do not have state funding, and scholarships are also offered for those that can't pay. Recently, we were able to meet with the ARC Executive Director, DayHab Director, and behavioral psychologist to look at possible locations in Graham. Additionally, we toured their facilities in Wichita Falls. The ARC representatives seem just as excited as we are about opening a facility in Graham. The news of DayHab the closing just reached us on January 11th, so our research and plans are still in a preliminary stage. We're putting together a group to explore a suitable location plus initial capital, as well as ongoing operational needs. We're bringing this before you today as a way of introduction in hope of finding empathetic and caring persons to help in this endeavor. We've spoken with the City Council, the Graham County Foundation, the Graham Economic Improvement Corporation, many concerned supporters, and are further seeking to bring solutions to this challenge. Thank you very much for your time and consideration, and I welcome any of your input or questions at this time.
This program was, where was it located?
At the Helen Farabee Center out by the airport.
So they would actually go to that facility? That's where they would go?
have been going. We're entertaining multiple possibilities that included continuing there, finding another location. That's all kind of in the works right now.
So did Helen Farabee reach out to you last week about wanting a meeting? Okay, so they reached out to me, and I'm gonna try to, they wanted to meet with you and I to talk about, and I don't know if they want to talk about, this is one of the things they wanted to talk about or not. But, I am.
Been in touch with them about the same situation.
Well, I'm not sure if this is what they wanted to meet with us about, but I'm get Timmy to try to coordinate everything and get that scheduled. So y'all, y'all are wanting to basically replace this program with an ARC program in Young County?
Better, more inclusive. Yes.
And then, but y'all are starting from scratch. You don't have a location yet?
Well, we have a potential location. We actually have a hold on it right now.
Okay.
The Modern Way building, the grocery store across from the public library, where there was most recently a pinball machine,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
arcade.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Part of it's rented out. The Ark would not require the entire space. They would require some pretty major renovations. We've kind of made a tentative deal with them, it's not really formal at all, that if we could provide a location, they would have it, it would be financially reasonable for them to be able to come down and offer these services, which are quite expanded from what we've had in the past. Also, the renters that are there are on a month-to-month basis, but if some of them could be kept, that would be some income.
Sure.
Another possible problem is they need a kitchen because they're gonna feed the IDD folks, where right now they all bring their sack lunch. They really have a lot going on up there, and I would encourage any of you, I would take you up there and go tour it. It's quite fascinating what they're able to accomplish in Wichita.
That's exciting, yeah.
And the owner of the building has made us a special deal because we're a nonprofit. We would keep, by the way, we would keep the ownership in Graham, either through the county, through the city, through the foundation, somewhere that were this to fail for any reason, and I'm not trying to be pessimistic, but we don't want someone pulling out of town that still owns the building and can sell it. That building would be part of a nonprofit here in town that would remain in town, and they would just be allowed to use it. I've got a lot more answers than a lot more questions than I do answers, but I do have a lot of answers also if you have any questions.
How much we paying so far?
So, we haven't paid it, so we did budget 8,000 for the intellect, and we also, of course, I don't know that it, for the.
Is that what we paid Helen Farabee?
Well, we give them for MHMR local match, 9,475, for mental health care, 10,000, and then for the intellect, the 8,000.
8,000 for IDD.
Didn't we give them a pretty good donation whenever we did that, stuff like we did for 4-H?
On the capital
Yeah.
credit money.
No, we didn't give any.
I don't think it qualified.
It didn't qualify through that.
Have we paid that 8,000 to Helen Farabee for this year?
No, not to my knowledge.
That's an annual payment.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Okay.
I don't feel like we have. I think what you're talking, I remember that, we did give,
Yes, we did.
but I don't think it was help, I think it was Virginia's.
It wasn't, yes, okay. Yeah,
Yeah, we
that
had Jimmy's house this year, and then last year, the court divided it among six
60-something.
entities,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes. But,
couldn't remember if it was Helen Farabee or Virginia's house or where it is.
This year was-
Let me ask and make sure we have.
I think this is an exciting idea.
Becky?
Yeah, I
This
just
is
want to
Becky,
say,
she's the director that they have currently at Health Therapy.
I'm Regional Services Director, I cover Haskell, Graham, Decatur, all those areas, inventory. This IDD program, they have, it's officially called ISS now, but because we bring these individuals in, they're used to going to school, they're going to work. Some of them are able to hold a job, although it's not going to be a full-time job by any means. Some can't even hold a regular part-time. But we teach them skills. We want them to be as independent as they can be. And if we take this away from them, they are going to regress to the point they lose all those skills. Just to tell you, we have a young man that never associated with anybody. He didn't talk to them, all he did was face all day long. He will literally talk your ear off right now if you let him. He shakes your hand, he wants to hug you, he wants to talk to you. Kids that have never sat down and just played a game love word bingo. So it's word bingo. We're teaching them word. We're teaching them reading skills. We teach them math skills. How to prepare a simple meal. And all these skills will be lost if we lose this program. And that's all I have to say. Just thank Carter.
Does is Helen Farabee involved with the home they do in Stephenville with?
No, sir, that's part of the Rock House.
That's what I was thinking too.
We are not. Helen Farabee only actually has one group home left, and it is an ICF home. The program that we need the funding in, quite honestly, is the HCS waiver program, Texas Home Living waiver program, and the general revenue program. The Texas Home Living and general revenue are the ones that we had to cut a year ago because of the federal and state guidelines that were pulled down.
We lost about half of our population.
Definitely. And all of those could come back if the ARC opens a satellite location
Yeah.
here.
Okay. So, you're not really here asking for anything. This is
No.
an informational
This is
thing.
information.
And then maybe you're gonna come back at some other point, once you get it, once we have more of a plan.
Right, I'm putting together a committee, and I've got several people in mind. We're gonna start meeting weekly
Okay.
and discuss what we think we can, our pants are big enough to
Sure.
fill.
No, I'm just speaking for myself. This sounds exciting.
We're excited about it. We've made a lot of progress, and Wichita Falls is excited to come down here at this
Yeah.
point. And I think we can put a lot of good
No
things
point
together.
reinventing the wheel.
Exactly. We can work with their people, they can help us vet the employees. They'll use a lot more part-time and volunteers than are currently used here, and they have to do that to save money, but they also vet everyone. And they know how to apply for the money to get through the state funds for those that have money available. Because, you know, the majority of the parents of these people aren't financially able to conduct their household without some help. Anyway.
I talked to Charlie Bazan whenever I heard who the company that you were looking at. His mother-in-law works there. They volunteers there.
In Wichita?
In Wichita Falls,
Yeah.
yes. And he talked pretty highly of it.
Well, good.
But,
It's incredible to see what they do up there.
you know, it seems like we're losing something, but we're also gaining something with more opportunities at the same time.
I feel like it's a blessing in disguise.
Yes.
Yes. It's kind of hard to hear the news, and it was scary, but I think we can turn the corner and come out better.
One door closes, another one opens.
Yeah.
I just verified with Sherry, we have not paid.
Okay, that's good. All right. Good.
Thank you.
Potentially should be some money.
Yeah, there we go.
All right. Any questions? All right. Thank you so much. No action on that item. We'll move to number 13. This is discuss and consider accepting the Ham RV Park plans, plat, and permit for 640 Highway 67. Commissioner Scott Shook.
Yes, I have the plat plans and permits on behalf of the Ham. They have potentially enough room for about 20 RV spots. They want to start out small with just 5 or 6 spots just to kind of get the doors open. And I'm just here to bring the paperwork on their behalf, get the approval on that so that they can get started.
Okay. So, are they here? So here's this. Y'all want to experienced commissioners walk us through that?
How far out of 67?
It's right across the street from the veterinary clinic there where Ham Well Service used to be.
There's 20 foot there, and then 50 foot on the side. Wide,
We're gonna have to widen this one. This one here is right on.
So this is the highway here.
That's the highway here.
The entranceway to this.
That's gonna be 50 foot.
That's gonna have to be 50 foot, and if you read it, you could require to have 2 exits.
Well, this may be the highway, but then it's like to come here this way. And turn around and go this. I don't know if it's going this way, then you know how
How's
they,
the highway is?
I do not.
how they coming in here.
Might help.
This one has to be on paper this size, to be a legal flat. You have to get this blown up to the legal size as well.
Okay.
we can't approve it with it at this time.
But this is just a drawing right here.
They have to do this stuff.
Yeah, we can figure it out. Is that the building you're talking about, is that where the office and stuff is? And your shop and everything.
Unless they're talking, this being the back fence line, they're bringing it in.
This is the door, this is how it's gonna be laid out. So,
They're talking this fence line back here.
the door is on the top. The door is gonna be.
Yeah, this fence line's running here. They're talking about putting doors back in here.
Yeah, this is Highway 67 over here, that's the main entrance over there.
Yeah.
That's gonna be wider.
That makes sense, but these areas are long. Because they're coming in this way, that's how the parking lot is.
Oh, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
They're probably gonna have to.
Where you gonna back in? You're coming in here and you're backing in that way, you got to go in that way, back in.
Oh, yeah, right.
But yeah. We can't approve nothing till this is on the right side of the road.
Right. You wanna make that entrance 50 foot, and you want this the same size as this, and then we'll talk about it again. Okay.
And we need to see the power and water.
What about water?
They have to have
I have septic permits here, but I don't know nothing about no water.
Are they gonna have a general septic or a full septic for each?
That's the permits for septic, I don't know water.
That means that every one of these locations will have to have septic tanks on it unless it's full. That's not how we know if it's gonna be full of septic.
Or you thinking this might just be a dump station?
It may just be dump stations.
Now, if they do a dump station, they do it one time, but that's gonna make it where people have to pull that in
Every time.
every time you go do
It won't be
that.
like a permanent setup, like it's almost every month at a time. That's
Right.
what it means.
Yeah.
You see how many tanks are?
Harley Moore signed it, where's she at?
Utility.
And they did the roadway right here, is the right width. This has to be, because this is your access to get fire trucks, trash trucks, like that.
That's probably an existing.
It may be.
I think this is all the way back here, by the way that's laid out. Fence line, property lines, see how this angle on the fence line is?
Yeah.
And so, I don't think this will be near the state highway, it's coming in off of the yard side here. And, we just need to have a little more direction where
I
this
think
is.
the highway's way back over here then. This is the highway and this is the edge of this, I think. This is way back there behind the building, the existing metal building right here.
I'd like to have somebody here to really direct it out.
Well, maybe we could, let Scott give them the feedback and then ask them to come in and help us figure things out.
Over here.
Are those buildings on here?
Existing slab, that's that slab out there to the side of it. When you put something
Yeah, it says property line, but the road goes past the property line and then comes back in. Almost like it's coming off here and back on.
there's something like that. You can't go in somebody else's. place, I don't know what's gonna take them over to something.
It looks like that. There.
If this had, to even approve it, we would have to have this in legal side.
And then it needs to have places for us to sign.
Okay. You got it. All right. Yes, okay, so before we do that, the Ham RV Park, we're gonna say no action, we're gonna return the comments to the Hams and ask them to come back, is that correct?
Yes.
All right, so, no action on item 13, we'll take a 10-minute recess, and then we'll come back, after 10 minutes.
You're bold with that mic full toward you like that.
Yeah, we're gonna be like this. Right.
You're killing it, that mic full.
Am I too loud?
It was like that.
Really? Oh my gosh, because to me it doesn't sound very loud.
Well, what, it's not normally, but whenever it got pushed over. so
Yeah.
that's flat.
He's like, oh,
Oh, okay. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Well, I was trying to write a little story about this mental health stuff.
Hey,
It's
Grant's
really
all right.
bad.
No, I had a problem with it.
Hey, Judge.
Hey.
I'm gonna do a little story just about the mental health situation and the grant. So can I just get like a quick overview, like an update? Okay, so can you update me on what happened with the grant? I know you already told me, but just.
Right, so we believed we had a grant that would fit our goals and objectives for creating mobile wealth. And they posted the grant,
Yeah.
we did a quick read through, it looked like the grant was what we thought it was gonna be. Or we thought it was. So, try not to sound like that, but basically, we thought the grant was gonna work, we started working through it. We approached the grant writer, he started working through it with us, everything looked good, we were building all the things we needed for that, sure, pretty tight deadline. We hired the grant writer, and then over the weekend, they started going through some fine print, just kind of, get past the first part of the grant, they started going through the bullet points and all the things. And we realized that this grant was not designed for anything close to what we were. One, it is designed, this grant is designed to focus on school-age children, 14 and under. It does not support any law enforcement, either the sheriff's office or police departments. Basically, what it's meant to be is a storefront for people with mental health issues to voluntarily come in and seek counseling and help and guidance on how to get help. Well, to me, it's designed for big cities. It doesn't do anything in rural Texas.
Okay.
So.
Once again, I mean.
So, we're dead in the water on this grant. We just stopped all efforts on this grant because it doesn't address something that we really could realistically use in the county. So, what are we gonna do? Chief Burbuck and I are gonna sit down hopefully this week, next week, try to come up with a scaled back version. And then, once we come up with what that's gonna look like, hopefully we're gonna have a meeting with all of our city officials, school officials, hospital districts, county, sheriff's office, to see if this is something that everyone would want to participate in. Especially, couldn't come, the rejection couldn't come at a worst time because the shooting that they had in Graham is the exact thing that this could have helped with. Yeah, maybe not, but this is what, this had the opportunity to maybe help that situation.
And I understand the fact that individual who was, killed was someone that you saw in court
Yes.
multiple times, is that right?
I've seen him in my court multiple times, and we've tried to help him. We've tried to help him.
And it wasn't a mental health situation with him, that's what the basis of your interaction with him.
No, it was criminal.
Oh, it's criminal.
He was in my court. I don't want to. I don't want to.
But I mean, we.
But then off the record, this part's off the record. He was in court for a criminal offense. When he got arrested, his father came to my office and said he had mental health issues and he needed some help. We contacted Sheriff Babcock. He was at this weird stage. And this is off the record. He was at this weird stage. He was 17. So he was an adult in criminal, for criminal matters. But he's a juvenile for mental health and kind of healthcare stuff. So he was like in that no man's land. And so Sheriff Babcock and Timmy and I kind of all came up with this plan where Travis released him from jail. I was at the exact same time wrote an emergency detention order. So then he was taken back into custody under my detention order. This was with his parents involved with this whole process. I mean, not even Judge or Smith before. And they actually evaluated him and then put him in their mental health unit for, I don't know how many days, 4, 5, 6 days. And he came out. His parents told me, oh my gosh, this is the most help we've ever received. They changed all his medicines. They really were pleased. And I think for a while he was doing really well. Well, then I don't know what all happened, but it started to go the wrong way, and then this last Monday happened, whereas they would be on the radar of this local mental health team, and they could have gone and checked up with them, and maybe they would have noticed that he was off his meds or something. So I don't know all the details of what happened on Monday, but that's what really kind of makes this kind of sting a little bit. But long story short, hopefully we'll come up with a lesser plan that we can then pitch to everybody. But now it's going to be more expensive than each of the entities were originally pitched the idea of, because there's not going to be a grant to help it. It's going to have to go through all their budgets. Now it's just pushed everything out even further because it's going to have to be in next year's budget year because nobody's going to have money.
So are you gonna pursue any other outside money, like Freedom Foundation or whatever?
I mean, if we can find an opportunity, yeah, but.
How much money do you think you would need to set that up, to
I don't know.
stand it up?
Well,
Cause you've got what,
we were-
130,000? And you wanted 600, so.
We were looking for something like that.
That was for, I thought you would contact because of Jack,
Well, when we originally pitched it, Jack thought he was going to possibly be in it. So we're going to have to I don't know how to do it. I mean, you're asking more details than that now, right?
Okay.
So I just, we're going to have to, we're going back to the drawing board. We're starting over, but we kind of have an idea. It's going to be easier to start over because we're already starting one plan, and so we're going to basically go from. Well, we were pitching on the grant 3 teams, so 24 hours. Now I think we're gonna pitch one team that would be, 8 to 5, and
then call outs, like on call.
I don't think, you're not gonna have other people. You're not gonna be able to, if you have one team, you're not gonna have them on call 24 hours.
Yeah.
Still? Okay.
All right, well, I'm gonna call those guys. I mean, I think I'm gonna call and find out, like, what are you thinking? We went up there and we assured us
That grant's not what y'all pitched.
Yeah,
It's
not,
just
but
not.
just so irritating.
It's sad.
And for you to say that it was aimed at cities is exactly
Yeah.
what is so so irritating.
Well, and also, and we spent a lot of time working on
Yes.
this grant just to find out it doesn't work.
Makes me mad. Okay, thanks, Judge.
All righty. We ready to come back in? All right, it is 10:36, and we're gonna come back into session. We will pick up with item number 14, discuss and consider naming a new road, Jaden Lane, presented by Mr. Ray Reeves.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Welcome.
Yeah, we was just, trying to get that new road out there in that new subdivision name, because we had it Reeves Road, but you already had a Reeves Road in the county, so.
So this is a private road though,
Yeah,
right?
yes, sir.
Okay, so if y'all remember this subdivision, kind of in the Loving area? And, what have y'all built so far?
We've got the road in, we've got the entryway in, we just drilled a new well on this lot here. We've already sold this house, they've already
Okay.
closed on it. We're building a new house here, drilled a new well on here, and it hit 45 gallons a minute on that. And we've got the new power coming in here, it's about 3 weeks.
So
out.
once you start doing these, then you're gonna have to come and do the full subdivision
Ye-
thing?
Yes, sir,
Okay.
that's our next
Gotcha.
next part of it.
So, just to refresh your memory of what we're talking about. So, I guess technically a private road doesn't matter.
It still has to go
You do
through
it.
111.
It does it really?
Yeah,
Okay.
and that's what they told us, we tried to get the
Okay.
Reeves Road, and they said, no, that road was taken, so.
Okay. I
uh,
learned something.
So we're asking for approval on that name, and they
So-
said it would go through if, I guess, if y'all.
So
approve.
Jaden Lane is not taken and free?
Correct.
We don't have a issue with, what's the story on Jaden Lane? Why
It's our
Jaden?
grandson.
Oh, that's a great
It's our
name.
grandson.
Great.
Our granddaughter's Brooke Estates, and our grandson, we got 12 of them, they're like, when is our name gonna get here?
You're gonna have some mad.
Nah, that-
So since you're on the record, why is Jaden your favorite grandson?
Well, it's not, he's number 2, I'm second grandson. We gotta ask out of mine.
I'm trying to get you in trouble.
Yeah. They're all favorites.
All right, so Commissioner Shook has made a motion to approve the name Jaden Lane for their private road into their potential subdivision in the future. Do we have a second? Second from Commissioner Wiley. Any questions, comments, or concerns? If not, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. You mind if we keep it, can we keep this?
You bet, you can keep that
We need
there.
to keep this into the minutes records.
All right.
And we can make, do you?
No,
copy of it?
we got
Okay.
it. All right. Thank you, guys.
Excellent, thank you, sir. Okay, we're gonna move to item number 15, which is discuss and consider purchasing a vehicle for the district attorney's office contingent on Stevens County funding 1/3 of the vehicle purchase price. This is presented by Commissioner Shook and myself. If you guys remember during the budget season, the district attorney had requested a new vehicle, primarily a vehicle that was not a pickup, so that when they're traveling and they have their files and it's raining, that they can have the files covered and not exposed to the elements. We put money in the budget for this new vehicle, but it was basically that we would be willing to fund 2/3 of the vehicle, not 100% of the vehicle. Commissioner Shook had been notified that there was a vehicle in Houston, right?
Yes.
And so I called and we got in touch with the county judge in Stevens County to get them to commit to their 1/3. Well, they were like us, they didn't have a meeting until today. So they have not committed to anything yet, although the county judge indicated that he thought that Stevens County Commissioners Court would approve it. And so what Scott and I were going to request to our court is that we authorize the purchase of this new vehicle for the district attorney's office contingent on Stevens County calling us later today and letting us know that, yes, they will pay that 1/3. If they won't pay the 1/3, then we'll just, we won't do anything. Do they still have the vehicle? Because
The last I heard, they had emailed me and asked me what the status was, and I told them that we were meeting today and that I would get back with them. I think we budgeted like 60,000, I think we talked about. It's Caldwell Motors, the same place we get our sheriff department vehicles. They come back, the white vehicles, Tahoe SUV, 23 model, 56,445 was the grand total on that, so it's quite a bit less than
And
what
I'm
we
not
thought
sure
it
how
might
long
be.
that's gonna be available.
And then we're only
because
paying
of the
30,
situation
2/3 of that, so.
Right, but I mean, it honestly, just on the principle, I mean, we shouldn't fund 100% of this vehicle
Well, I
because
think the
it's,
travel is to them, not
it's
really
to them, and then when they go to conferences and stuff like that, but we kinda have a split with Stevens County on this, and,
Get off topic, but the pickup we're gonna repurpose, do they own a third of it?
well, what we have, since we have paid all the insurance and we've paid all the maintenance in Young County, they are the understanding that we will repurpose it in Young County.
Did they sign off on?
We've had that conversation that that vehicle is going to stay in Young County. And the justification is that we haven't been billing them for the maintenance and insurance and stuff like that for the vehicle. So
They agreed on that.
that's gonna be part of their discussion today at their commissioner's court. But yes, the proposal is that we would keep that vehicle in Young County.
And that is a buy board quote, so we do not have
Yeah.
to go after bids.
So, does anyone have any questions, comments? If not, we'll entertain a motion to purchase this vehicle off buy board contingent on Stevens County funding 1/3 of the cost.
So moved.
Motion from Commissioner Cresswell. Do we have a second? Second from Commissioner Wiley. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, motion passes 5-0. I will call Judge Roach and let him know so that he can let me know. I don't know what time their meeting is, but I assume it's probably going on right now. Follow up on that. All right. Item number 16, ratify the grant management agreement between Young County and Strategic Economic Efforts. Gotcha. Okay, this is, we approved this several meetings ago. It has now been executed by, this is our grant writer and myself. Obviously, the grant that we were originally targeting has fallen apart. Or maybe you don't know about it, but after our meeting, so we had that emergency meeting on Friday to approve the grant writer, and then we worked that weekend on building the grant. And then on Monday, their grant writer went through all the fine print, and there were at least 2 critical items that basically determined that grant will not work for what we're trying to do. One is that the grant is primarily for school-age children, age 14 and younger. And 2, the grant will not support or reimburse any elected official or a governmental appointed official. So that means the sheriff deputies, or any police officer. So there was no way for that to be a part of this grant, and that was a huge part of what this grant was gonna be. So, that grant's gone, but we still have the grant writer. And, in fact, Sheriff Babcock told me today he's gonna get me some stuff. He found a grant that he wants to go after. I told our grant writer after he told me the bad news, I said, okay, well, we've got fire department grants that we need to look for. We have an issue with our Alney Annex where that building is falling apart. And especially, we've got JP3 in that building, and we're gonna go full-time now with a tax assessor collector position over there. So I've asked him to look into ideas for a grant to, basically maybe get a new Alney Annex. And I also asked him, to potentially find something that would work where it could be a joint venture with the city of Alney, because they need a new police. They need some stuff too, so there might be an opportunity for us to go in for a grant for the city of Alney and the county to do an annex over there that would be a multi-purpose.
I had your visit with Tom Parker last week, last Friday, and, they've got a guy supposed to come fix the old annex over there. They're supposed to fix it also to where they'll be able to go in the front door now.
Okay, I have not heard that,
Yes.
so that's great news.
Yes.
Well, maybe it won't be needed, but I tried to repurpose our grant writer to some other ideas, but that would be great if we could look for some other stuff. So, that was a long-winded, justification of why, item number 16, I'd ask for a motion to ratify the executed agreement with our, grant writer. And just remember, we can always, 30 days notice, get out of this agreement at any time. Both parties can.
If he's on retainer, he needs to be looking for something.
Oh, he is. No, we gave him a list of things that we're looking for. We have communication issues that we'd like a grant for. And then the other thing he's gonna do is just look at all the other places that he's working. Whenever they come up with a good idea, that they're looking for something, he's gonna say, hey, I've got another county doing this, that, maybe it'll be something we want in this county. But if he doesn't, we can get out of it in 30-day notice. All right, motion from Commissioner Wiley to ratify the agreement. We have a second from Commissioner Rogers. Any comments or concerns? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0.
Are they gonna bill us monthly on this? No, the 2,000 a month, is that correct?
They're gonna bill us $2,000 a month.
And I'm gonna find somewhere to take it, I guess. I will let you know what I find.
We'll need to decide how we're gonna do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a professional services line, maybe, or
Okay.
something. We'll find
Well,
something.
we'll talk about that offline.
Okay.
Sounds like a mess, maybe.
Precinct 2 budget,
Yeah, precinct 1, that's a great idea.
precinct 2 budget item.
I heard precinct 1.
I did too.
All right, item number 17, discuss and consider billing precinct 1. No, I'm kidding. Discuss and consider applications and permits to cross the county road to construct a pipeline or utility for Rocky Mountain Road presented by Commissioner Cresswell.
It actually is a, city water line. They were just needing to bore under the roadway. So it's a municipality done that. It was for, Lane Kramer's nephew, which, they've already, contacted the city. They hired a subcontractor to come in and do the bore. The city actually asked to do a cut, and we didn't know to that. But they've already got the bore set up and got it ready to do. And, I make the motion we approve this.
All right, we have a motion from Commissioner Cresswell. Do we have a second? I'll second. We have a second from Commissioner Shook. Any questions or concerns? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. All right, we'll move to item number 18, discuss and consider an application permit to cross the county road to construct a pipeline or utility for Alney Road. And this is presented by Commissioner Rogers.
They just made the application and sent it directly into your office. And, but it's the local co-op there and all, they do this all over the country, and I think they're gonna do a good job, and it's probably gonna be a bore, it's right next to an existing, line.
You're saying I have this?
Yes,
It's in the packet? This is Brazos Telephone? Oh, okay, okay, gotcha. Oh, there it is, I didn't see where the road was.
Yeah, they'll take care of it.
Okay, but no issues with it?
I'll make a motion to approve this application.
All right, we have a motion from Commissioner Rogers, do we have a second? Second from Commissioner Wiley, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Thank you. We'll move to item number 19, discuss and consider the purchase of a 2024 Takahauchi TL 12R2-CRHR skid steer financed through First National Bank, presented by Stuart Cobb and Stacy Cresswell, Commissioner of Precinct 1.
I was in contact with James McDowell on this. He has some coming in. If I want this price, I've got to give him the yes. I want to purchase this. Okay. I'm going to sell my John Deere skid steer. This one's actually quite a bit bigger horsepower than the one we have. They made an offer to purchase it, but I can't get it till June. It won't be here. So what I need to do is approve the purchase of this, and then when we get closer to it, get the financing done on it through Stuart, and and put the other one up for bid.
Okay. And you have plenty of budget money and everything for this?
Well, we won't have to make a payment on this till 2025, so we will be able to put it in the budget before we ever have to make a payment. But hopefully, the principal will come down by what we get on the one we're selling.
That makes sense. All right, do we have a motion to authorize the purchase of a 2024 skid steer financed through First National Bank?
I like that motion.
We have a motion from Commissioner Cresswell and a second from Commissioner Shook. Any questions or comments or concerns? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. And again, we'll stay with Commissioner Cresswell. Discuss and consider obtaining sealed bids on a 2011 John Deere skid steer model 329D. And
that's the one that we can't put it up for bid because we weren't sure on the delivery date when we put this on the agenda, but we'll hold off on that till it comes time to put it up for bid. And it'll be around June because we're still using it until we get.
So, but are you asking us to go ahead and authorize you to put it up for sale when we're ready, or are you gonna bring it back to us?
We'll bring it back
Okay.
at that time because I wasn't for sure if he couldn't, the way he talked at first, they might have them in earlier, but we're pretty sure it's gonna be June.
Okay, so no action on item 20.
Yes, sir.
We'll move to item number 21, which is discuss and consider a 2012 Mack truck financed from First National Bank.
I think when we got the title back on that, it ended up being a 13.
Is it a 13? Okay. We're gonna table that today then.
Okay, so no action on item number 21?
Yes, sir.
No action. We'll move to item number 22, which is discuss and consider the purchase of a 2024 Komatsu GD 655-7 motor grader from First National Bank. This is Stuart Cobb and Commissioner Wiley's item.
Yeah, I've got a lease one I've got coming up, is gonna go back in April. So, we'll get a deal made so there would be no transaction costs in between the two. And, we've got this on the lease purchase plan. And they do have one in stock.
Okay.
It's gonna be cheaper than the new one it's gonna be, so I got the last one they had that year.
All right, and are you making a motion?
I'm making a motion.
All right, so we have a motion for Commissioner Wiley to purchase a 2024 motor grader. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second from Commissioner Shook. Any questions, comments, or concerns? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Item number 23, discuss and consider requesting sealed bids or an auction website of choice to sell a 2020-21 Mack truck presented by Commissioner Wiley.
I've got 2 trucks coming up for retiring on our lease purchase program in Mack. We're probably 2 months apart right now, so we're gonna sell this first, we'll go up on this first one, see what it'll do, and we'll consider the other second one after that. But I'm probably gonna go ahead and go through a auction site and see what it'll do on that. I think it'll bring more money to that.
Gov Deals or Renee Bates?
Probably Renee Bates, probably where we'll go with.
And we had pretty good luck on the first time we used that one. All right, is that a motion, Commissioner Wiley?
Yes, sir.
All right, so Commissioner Wiley made a motion to request sealed bids or put on an auction site to sell the 2020-21 Mack truck. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second from Commissioner Cresswell. Any questions, comments, or concerns? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0.
Oh, let me look at it and see on that, when we need to take it and sell.
Are you thinking about auction also?
I think we're gonna bring more. What I had a report right there, maybe he's looking at 150 to 160,000 versus the 105, 8 and 10, so.
Yeah, but that's figment of their imagination.
Whose imagination?
I do too, it's a lot of work.
Can't get a straight answer when the new ones are coming in.
No, that's kind of the deal though.
I have something I'd like just to throw out to the court on the trucks, since it's a conversation. I know Jim and I had this conversation, Stacy, but I just want to make the court aware that, you know, not just trucks, but heavy equipment. The federal government's got new EPA regulations coming out for 2027. And I've received a lot of information from all the different vendors across the state and the country. And they're all saying that the 2027 models, which we will see in 2026 start coming in, are gonna be $20,000 to $30,000 higher, and that's trucks or equipment. So if we're looking at a new truck now that's costing $150, the 2027 model is gonna be $170 plus whatever the price increases were over the next 2 years. We could be looking at trucks going up $30,000 to $40,000 between now and 2027. And the difference is gonna be is the DEF tanks are gonna be bigger on all the equipment. So it's gonna need more DEF, it's gonna burn more DEF quicker, so it's gonna add the cost to the counties and the end users as well as upfront. And like I was talking to you about, you know, Komatsu, the reason why Komatsu's seeing a lot more success with their product is Komatsu's current motor grader is already pre-tier 5 emissions. So they're gonna be able to keep their prices lower than John Deere and Cat moving forward. So that's why I was, had that visit with you and I visit with Jim about that as well. I just want to pass on information.
They're gonna fill that ozone layer up with money.
That's right.
Sarcasm noted.
If it helps, I did read an article this morning that said that they might have miscalculated global warming.
Right.
So, did you see that?
They're always recalculating.
Right.
All right, item number 24, discuss and consider the burn restriction. I thought it was interesting on Sheriff Babcock's report that we're seeing fires are picking up a little bit. It does seem like maybe it's getting a little drier, but I don't know, is it no action right now? But
I had on nearly 3 inches this
Huh?
week.
Raining every week.
yeah,
I would say no.
there's been a lot of fires though.
Well, you're looking at 5 of them were house fires.
Yeah.
2 of them were the only actual fires out in the
So
county.
what caused the fire on Indiana Street in front of the church, that grass fire?
I'm not real sure on
It was in the middle of town, but over by the city pool, the East Side Church of Christ, the front lawn ignited. And I don't know what caused it.
Cigarette or something like that.
Well, could have been, but I don't know. All right, so no action on item number 24. We don't have to adjourn, but someone have to make a motion to adjourn. Motion from Commissioner Wiley. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second from Commissioner Shook. All in favor? All right, 5-0.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
I started.
I hope so.
You did my pink things, those were county issues.
Yeah, government property, save them for you. Good. I'll even get up. You can take that with you.
Cross on that, lots of Jimmy's.
It was.
Thank you.
360 with that cat cross.
You're not gonna chase the table like that?
You guys had enough, breaks?
We went through all that after last day out and everything. Literally, once they started really getting into the nitty gritty, they're just like, it won't work. Hey.
Well, this is the first,
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah.
this is a coverage.
So we'll figure something out as far as I mean, we'll get there. It's just gonna take longer now.
But it's that part about that deal right there.
It's the same week as mine.
They had to come to you.
Yeah, they basically, this grant is for a storefront. Like a storefront for people to voluntarily come seek help, which in a big city, it makes sense. Because you do have people that,
Because every other year
there's consumers for that, but they just don't have enough people for that.
But the chances that people come to you. That's the background. Not very good.